Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today I have something kind of interesting. So in one of my previous videos I bought a new Phalaenopsis orchid. It is of a fragrant variety, and today I'm going to be repotting it. It doesn't look too good right now, and that is because it is in rock wool. So I have a video coming out explaining rock wool and a little bit more on the different types of substrates that orchids can be in next week. So I'm just going to show you how to repot an orchid that has been potted in rock wool. This is contributing to a yellowing leaf right here and the flowers dying prematurely. So let me angle the camera down and I'm going to show you how this is done. Okay, so here we have our orchid that is in rock wool here. Now, because this orchid has dried out a bit, I actually just watered the rock wool last night, so that's why it's a little bit soggy looking like that right now. So I'm just going to take it out of the container like this. I also have these orchid clips here. Now you want to be as gentle as possible with this because the orchid could get damaged from it. So just gently take this out. Now, if you notice, it looks like soil, which essentially is kind of what it is. It's a synthetic material, and they actually did this in layers, which is pretty common. So you'll have an outer layer, and you'll have an inner layer. So that'll just all come off. I'm also going to trim off any dead roots, like pull them off like this, as they will not be providing any nutrients to this plant whatsoever. Now, what I'm doing here doesn't hurt the orchid, and if you remember from my previous videos, I have done this before. So, unless you are pulling off a root that is actually alive and healthy, there shouldn't be any problems with doing it this way. Alrighty. So, yeah, because after that, this is why I don't like using it. Okay. So that looks pretty good. I am going to leave these little tendrils on just because I don't have scissors right now. Let me see if I can pull this leaf off though. Yep. There we go. Alright. See, it looks better. All spruced up and nice looking now. I think I'm going to pull the flowers off too though, because those flowers are done. There we go. See, already it looks a lot better. Now, what I have here is my trusty recommended mix of substrates. I don't have any perlite with me right now because I'm in Idaho and I don't have my bag of perlite, but we can make do with what we have. So what I do have is I have a little bit of sphagnum moss and some orchid bark. This is going to be a little bit chunkier version of orchid bark, because we're going to plant it right back in here. Now, typically what you want to do is with the orchids, and I've explained this in previous videos, is when you go to resize, take 1 to 2 fingers and put them on the inside of the pot like this, and that's the next size up that you should have. This orchid right now doesn't have a lot of roots, so it'll be just fine in the same pot because, I mean, that's not gonna be substantial enough to warrant having a new pot. So I'm just going to take the sphagnum moss and I'm going to wrap it around the roots. You only need a little bit. This is for moisture control and to keep the roots a little bit moist but not wet. So this will help with that once a week watering. So I think honestly that's good. So I don't need this little piece right here. Now we're going to take our orchid bark. Got to plant some in the bottom of the container here. I actually like this cup because it has a nice drainage hole in the bottom of it. So we're just going to grab some, put it in the bottom. So it really is quite simple. There could be times where it's a little bit more challenging. I'm going to plant a little deeper. There's going to be times where it's a little bit challenging to pull off the rock wool. If that happens, all you have to do is just soak it in some water and you'll be good to go for about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and that'll be sufficient enough to soften it up to a point where you can actually work with it. So I actually bought this orchid for my dad because he liked the smell. All right, and there we go. See, that's all there is to it. Now I'm just gonna put a little bit of maybe a rock or two on the bottom of this, just so that it's a little bit elevated, so that the water can drain out properly. But there it is. And that is how you repot an orchid that has rock wool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay tuned for next week's episode because I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about rock wool and other substrates again. And yeah, I'll see you next time. I hope to have earned your subscription as well, and I appreciate it if you do subscribe. It does help me out a lot. But yeah, stay tuned for next episode, and I'll catch you later.